Greetings, this is Matt Faiello from the Cisco Cloud Networking Compute BU, and we're back with another Intersight Managed Mode Expert Series video. In this video, we're going to be talking about a particular use case using advanced organizational sharing. I will say, if you're new to IMM, if you're new to organizational sharing, then please watch the original video that I created and posted back in June about org sharing. And I'll post that link in the comments section, but you absolutely want to watch that one first. It's more basic. It goes over what you can do and what you can't do. And then come back to this one, which shows more of an advanced use case of org sharing. So with that, let me go on to a PowerPoint slide that will actually show you what we're going to model out in Intersight. Okay, so in this particular use case of org sharing, the desired goal here is to segment and separate the domain management of UCS from that of server management. Okay, so as you can see at the top here, we have two organizations that have been shared out. One is a domain organization. And because it's a shared org, there's no resource group. So there's no hardware assigned to this org, or else we couldn't share it. But we do include domain policies and templates, example, port policy, QoS policy for your domain profile template. And we create that template, and then we're able to derive down the domain profile from template down into the target org. Conversely, on the other side of the coin, we have our server management. So we have a shared org over here. Again, no resource group, no hardware assigned to this org. A couple policies, bias boot. As an example, we have our SP template, and then we're deriving server profiles down from the template into the respective target orgs. Down inside these target orgs, they all leverage the same domain. Okay, so an example. For the target org that's domain related, okay, I have my resource group with the domain assigned to it. And I've kept all the servers in there. And I'll explain that further during the demonstration. But you have to have at least a server assigned, okay, or else you can't have the domain added to the resource group. So I have that as all. But I'm only applying domain RBAC for the user. So basically domain admin role. Okay, that gives that person complete control to manage the infrastructure, upgrade firmware, do a port policy, whatever. Okay, which actually is going to be done up here in the shared org. But they won't have access to do anything on the server side. They'll have read, but they can't. They'll see the servers, but they can't do anything with the servers. And then on the server side of the coin, we have a couple target orgs, and I made a couple different ones because I want to use the segmentation of adding specific servers in a domain to a resource group. So I created a server one resource group from that same domain, but I'm using sub-target one for server one. Okay. No domain RBAC, but server RBAC will be applied here. So this like server administrator. And then on the other org, okay, I have another resource group where I've added the remainder couple servers I have in this domain. It's a small domain. And again, I've selected subtargets 2 and 3. Since one was over here, I selected 2 and 3. No domain RBAC, but of course the server admin role applied here. Now, as those server administrators log in with respective logins, then you'll only see server 1 in case of this role, okay, this user, and the adjacent user will see only servers 2 and 3. So you do have good segmentation between the two. I think the point here is a point to take away is they all use the same domain for the resource group. It's just a matter of whether it's all the servers, a particular server, okay, subset or sub-target, in these respective orgs. Okay, that is why I drew kind of the dotted line bubble around all three of these, because you're actually working with the same domain that's part of three separate resource groups. Now, you could have done away with this one. I've got this for simplicity. I think it makes sense from an intuitive standpoint, certainly on paper. It makes it easy to feel like you're completely separating that out, right? But you could have done away with this, and I could have just applied a domain RBAC to one of these orgs, since it's utilizing the same domain. Even if it's a sub target for server sakes, it's still the same domain. It's going to have the same FIs. So you could have just reduced this down to two. I will say that. I like this. Okay, it gives me kind of the look and the feel. Perhaps it's a little easier to understand. If it's not, certainly you can do away with this. Okay, so let's move on to the demonstration. Okay, so let's move on with the demo here. And for this demo, I'm using the connected virtual appliance. So it matters not whether you're using SaaS connected virtual appliance or the private virtual appliance. It just so happens a connected virtual appliance is where I have this setup created. And the first thing I'm going to do is log in as basically account administrator. So I have purview and control over everything to show you. I'm in the system settings, okay, and I want to go down first to resource groups and kind of brief you on the resource groups. And this would coincide with that slide in the PowerPoint presentation, so it would be helpful if you had that available on a separate screen, a screen snap or a printout. The three resource groups that I've created is the actual domain resource group for the domain administrator, okay, and that coincides with the target org for the domain. And then I have the server one resource group, which is just a single server, and that coincides with the target org for servers A. And then I have the servers 2 and 3 resource group, which coincides with the target org servers B. Okay, so those are the resource groups. If I step up to the organizations, you can see I have the shared org for domain, and it's shared with the target org for domain. You can see I have the target org for servers A, which includes the server 1 resource group. I have the target org for servers B, which includes servers 2 and 3 resource group. Okay, and then I have the target org for the domain itself. So this is where the domain administrator would come into play from an RBAC perspective. And of course, it has the entire domain. Now, if I go up here to roles, you can see, let me click on user roles. So I filtered these out to get rid of all the system defined. I have basically three different roles. I have the target org domain admin. Okay, and if I go in and look at that, step forward, I can see that domain admin in that target org will have the domain admin privilege, right? And also read-only privilege to the shared org. Domain admin privilege in the target org, but read-only access to the shared org. Let's go look at the server one org, or role rather. Let's step forward. Okay, that server one user will have a server administrator role within the target org for servers A. That person will also have read-only access to the shared server org. And then finally, let's go look for server 2.3 role, this person is only going to have server admin rights to the target org, like the other case, but we're not going to give this person read only. And I just want to spell that out and show you the difference later in the demonstration here. We log in with the different user accounts. So server admin in the target org, but no read only to the shared org, the shared server org. So let's go down from that. That's the roles. And then finally, users. You can see the 3 users that I'm using: domain admin, server 1 admin, server 2-3 admin. Okay, and those are accessing the applicable roles. Okay, so this particular domain admin has access to the domain admin role that I just showed you. Server 1 admin has access to the server 1 admin role that I just created and showed you. And then finally, server 2-3, the same. The server 2-3 server admin role that I just showed you. Okay, so that's kind of the setup. And that's showing you pretty much everything from an org, resource group, role, user perspective. Let's go to infrastructure service. Of course, we have 3 servers in this particular domain, and we're doing segmentation between server 1 and servers 2 and 3. Single pair of fabric interconnects, of course. From a template perspective, we do have the domain profile template assigned to this org, the shared org. Okay, and that template will reside in the shared org, and then I derived the actual domain profile down into the target org per the slide. In a similar way, we have the server profile template residing in the shared server org, and we drive the server profiles down into their respective server target orgs. Go to policies. Of course, we have our domain policies. I just have a couple policies just to show. So let's go ahead, and we were account administrator, so we could see and do everything. Let's go ahead and log out, and let's log in as that domain admin of the domain target org. Okay, so now we are the domain admin and that target org domain admin role. Okay, so now from a server's perspective, I guess ideally in some people's minds they wouldn't see servers because if I want to really segment and strip out just the fabric, that's not really doable. I have to see the servers. Now, I don't have permissions to do anything with the servers. You can see the breadcrumbs over here are grayed out. I mean, I can get in here to a server. I can see the inventory. I can see the topology, but I have absolutely no actions that I can perform. None. Okay. So again, I'll speak to product/engineering management. Maybe we can do something to even shield that for customers that want to do that, not have any purview at all on the servers. That might not even be an important thing for a lot of use cases. The fabric interconnects, of course, you have full capability to enable evacuation mode. You can upgrade the firmware because I'm logged in as a domain admin. Now, if I go down here to templates and I go to domain profile templates, I can see that domain profile template that actually resides in the shared org. Okay, but I can't I can't execute against it. I can't edit it, in other words. Okay. I really can't do anything. I can derive profiles from it, uh, but that's just basically putting the profile down in the target org. All right, so I've actually already got a profile. All right, so I don't need to do that. So while I can see it in the shared org, the template, I can't really do anything with the template. And that's of course by design. And then of course we're not exposing any of the server profile templates to this particular org based on the RBAC. Policy wise, I can see the two domain policies that reside, but once again, I can't edit those. Okay. And let's go ahead and sign out of the domain admin, and let's go to the first server. This is server 1 admin. So that coincides with server org A or target server org A. And if I go to servers, I'm seeing only the one server that I've been assigned. Okay, so we already have segmentation there. I'm not seeing servers 2 and 3. Of course, I can do everything I need to do. I'm a server admin. If I go to templates, I can see the server profile template that resides in the shared org, but I can't edit that template. And of course, I'm not, let's see here, let's refresh the screen. And I'm not actually seeing the domain profile template. If I go to the actual profiles themselves, you can see that I'm only seeing the one server profile that was derived down from the shared server org down to this specific target org A. Okay. And then because I've given this user for this role read access to the shared org, I'm able to see not only the template up here, okay, but of course the policies that are leveraged by that template. So again, that was by design. And let's go ahead and sign out of that server 1 admin and log in as server 2-3 admin. All right, so let's go to servers, and I'm only seeing servers 2 and 3. Full control of those servers. Templates. Notice I don't see any server profile template in that shared org. That is because, if you'll recall, when I showed you the role, I did not give this user read access to the shared org. So therefore, I'm not seeing anything, nor am I seeing server policies. Okay, but the profile, the two profiles that existed here, okay, for servers 2 and 3 are in fact here because I derived them down. So it's kind of a top level power, if you would, control in this particular demonstration. You can absolutely do that. But if you created a new server profile, okay, and let's just go in here, fast forward here to compute. Again, since we didn't give this user any read-only access to the shared server org, I'm not seeing anything shared here to use. Now, I can still create new within the target. Yeah, you can do that. Okay, but you can see the difference between granting someone in a target org read access to the shared org and hiding things by not giving them read access. And it just, I'm showing you different ways of doing it, not professing a best practice or you should do it this way or that way. I'm just trying to educate you on the system capabilities so that you can grab the right types of features that you need for your environment, how you want to set it up and architect um, Intersight. So with that, that really completes the demonstration. That completes our video today about advanced organizational sharing. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me here during this video. Stay tuned for more IMM Expert Series videos.